one of those movies that get you. You know, you can't talk shit about a movie like this. I mean, there's some things you put in a movie that you just can't talk about. I mean, you could put a kitten in a movie. Can't talk shit about that movie. Put a dolphin with a prosthetic limb in a movie.
Oh, fuck no. You can ask Cyrus about that.
Yeah, I can talk shit about that movie.
But we already affirmed that you are un-American and hate children. See, now,
Yeah, but I love dolphins. I was clear about that. I just think that dolphin needs to get in better movies.
And kind sir, you clearly do not realize which site you are on.
Yeah.
Because at spill.com, we'll talk about anything.
It is the American way to talk shit about everything, including a guy dying of cancer.
You know, I was going to say, you know, I guess we can talk about a guy dying of cancer. That's what about a cat that has cancer with a dolphin fin?
See, that shit ain't funny.
Just making sure. Okay, we do have limits.
How about back down right now, Mr. Coleman?
Well, how about a dolphin with ass cancer? Because I'm sorry, as many stories as I read about ass cancer, I can't help but laugh. And then when I actually read the story, I'm like, well, that would suck if your asshole is killing you. I don't know why.
Oh, co-host, you are ass cancer. But you know what?
Thank you.
I'm glad to know that cancer, provided it's not a cat with cancer with a limb, but you know, cancer is not off limits for talking about because I enjoyed this movie, but I don't think it was perfect. And I know
it was just kind of 50-50.
Well, you son of a bitch. You're a fucking comedy cancer. What you
I was going to go with, I think we're going to come in half and half on this movie.
Because a lot of people going to look at Joseph Gordon-Levitt. That's the thing. I mean, cancer is one thing, but, you know, adorable Joseph Gordon-Levitt with cancer. Yeah, he's like a puppy with cancer. You can't be mad at him.
It's like a hipster cancer. His cancer had a neck beard. I'm sorry.
I know. What kind of cancer was it? Oh, you don't know?
It's really obscure. In fact, that's in the movie. Yeah. It's a really obscure kind of cancer you've probably never heard of.
Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah. No, it's
hipster cancer. I actually think this is the first time I've actually liked hipster.
No, you know, I did like the movie, and like I said, it's hard to like Joseph Gordon-Levitt. I mean,
it's hard to like him.
Okay, I'm sorry. It's hard to dislike him, but I don't know, man. It was just this kind of movie right here. Half of it seems like I'm gonna feel guilty if I try to like criticize it. The other half is like I can't help it because there's a lot of stuff that could have been done with a story like this that feels like they just played it safe on a lot of.
Well, what could have they done?
Well,
they could have made it about ass cancer for one thing. You know, would have been a lot funnier that way, right?
You wouldn't be laughing if that dolphin was dying from ass cancer. You would not be laughing.
I'm sorry, what were you going to say?
Well, you know, I was thinking it felt like Brian's song, and then Judd Apatow was in the studio next door, and he was like, yeah, send over one of our guys every 5 minutes or so. Yeah. People don't want to sit through that shit anymore. Now, watch some guy dying of cancer for 2 hours. We send Seth Rogen over to tell dick jokes.
Yeah. And that's the thing. I'm glad you brought up Judd Apatow because I was like, that's my description of it. It's a Judd Apatow movie with cancer. And the thing is, I mean, I enjoyed it. I think more because the way Joseph Gordon-Levitt played the character. And even though when they introduced Seth Rogen, he is pretty much channeling his character from Freaks and Geeks.
Or any other Seth Rogen.
I was about to say that. Your name, that's Seth.
Well, I thought more so Freaks and Geeks. Then again, I didn't mind that because I actually loved that character from Freaks and Geeks. And I honestly thought as his friend throughout this whole movie, I liked how they balanced it out with, you know, he's just like, hey, I know you have cancer, but dude, you still got to fucking live. So shut the fuck up, quit crying. And I like that about it. The movie needed that.
Well, I thought that it was irritating until they brought it back around to being where it defined later in the movie what their friendship was based on. Cause I was wondering, Joseph Gordon-Levitt's this total like, I mean, even pre-cancer, he's just kind of like, Eeyore. Why is he hanging out with this obnoxious guy?
Well, you know what? It's funny you should bring that up about his character because in the movie, he plays a character named Adam. He is a guy that doesn't drink, doesn't smoke, seems pretty tame, probably doesn't do a lot of partying. Even his boss at work says, man, you know, we didn't think like NPR could be any more boring, but you make it boring. You know?
So kids, here's a lesson. You don't want to get cancer. You need to get out there and start drinking and smoking.
Yeah, well, you definitely can't hang out with Spill unless you do.
No. Oh, hell yeah. Shit, we'll give you cancer tonight. But, you know, it's kind of funny because life looks at him and says, man, you're healthy, but you're a boring guy. And somehow you have a really hot girlfriend who's the girl named Rachel, played by Dallas Bryce Howard.
Oh, damn.
And life just looks at this and it's like, a guy like you just doesn't deserve a girl like that. Cancer,
Yeah. It's like, fuck you. You're the hottest actor in Hollywood now. Go fuck yourself. You got cancer.
This is what you do and get when you start making plans.
Yeah.
So you should just coast through life and be happy like us.
Yeah. And I mean, and the thing about it is that this is this guy who lives a pretty healthy, albeit dull lifestyle, doesn't just get cancer. He gets something that's a rare form of cancer, a tumor that grows on his spine that has a very complicated name that I'm not going to say.
Because you don't know what it is.
Because I don't know what it is. I'm afraid if I say it, I'm going to get it.
All the doctor told him was he needs a backiotomy.
Yeah. I said, well, why don't you just take his spine out?
It's really obscure. It was on the first Flaming Lips album, and I believe it played with Sebadoh for a while. But yeah,
I was looking at the movie, I was like, damn, he has the spine? I didn't know, but yeah, so the only thing that he really has going for him is a mother who is kind of a bitch, but has his best interest at heart, played by Angelica Houston, his hot girlfriend, and this friend of his who he thinks is a good guy. This guy's always sticking around with him, even though he's obnoxious and loud, and it's played by Seth Rogen, a guy named Kyle in the movie. But then he wonders, wow, is this guy just using my cancer to pick up chicks?
You know what I do? Get into the cancer thing faster.
Faster?
Faster.
I mean, she didn't say
I
hello
know,
to me.
but
What do
it's your hook, man. It's what you got. It's
So what, just that's the
gotta
first thing
flaunt
I
it,
say?
man. You
I'm just
gotta
like,
flaunt
hello,
it.
I have cancer.
That's what makes you different. It's what sets you apart. You're sympathetic.
Okay.
Just try it.
Okay.
What year is this? I love that guy.
It's a great song.
Totally.
I have cancer.
I was wrong. It was weird. It's weird like that. It's not. It doesn't sound cool.
Which is what I do.
Hey, man.
I think
somebody's got to make some good use out of it.
Yeah, he even told him. I thought he even told him. Yeah, I mean, we got to use what you got, and you got cancer, so we got to use it.
I must admit, I was like, would that work? See, I'm going to call Dr. Nerdlove tomorrow. I'll be like, hey, I got a question. You know anybody with cancer?
I know. By the way, I've placed radioactive rods under those seats that you're sitting in right there, just hoping that one day you can help me out.
Your glowing wingman.
Take Leon to a rave. Pick up nothing but rave chicks. Yeah. He's the most awesomest raver ever, and he has cancer.
I know, except we have to make him dance. He's got the sick and glow.
He's a glow sick.
Yeah.
Oh, that one you laughed at.
Coming from him. Come on.
Points. Thank you.
No,
It's a glow stick. Come on, sleep with him.
No, it's a good movie. I like this. It's one of those things where it adds comedy to a subject that kind of needs it. I mean, I'm not going to say that, cancer is funny or anything like that, but this could have been, very dramatic drama.
With Seth Rogen?
Really? Well, if I'm saying, just by subject matter, this could have been something that was very serious, something that was just trying to milk you too much emotionally. And this is one of those movies where it's like, hey, what can we take that would seem like taboo that we can make fun of? Let's make this drama/comedy about cancer.
I don't even think they were making fun of it, though. I mean,
no, they weren't.
It gets heavy-handed. And the movie loses focus about what it's really about, which is just a regular guy who's done everything right. He has cancer and he just doesn't know how to deal with it. And it's more so a story about how everyone in his life deals with it, which I thought was great about this movie, because it brings up it brings up shit like, what's your girlfriend going to do? What's something that could possibly happen if your girlfriend finds out that you have cancer? How the fuck is she going to handle it? Is she going to do it the right way or the most fucked up way you can think?
Right.
And, with the direction that it goes, I liked it because I'm like, you know what? They treated these situations very real, especially if you have a friend involved who is really concerned about you. And he notices how people are treating you, and he's not gonna be nice about it. He's gonna go, no, that's fucked up. All right. Which you think in some of these movies I see where the best friend should be like that. You know,
it's weird because I think that you were saying this is what would happen with the other stuff. And I'm like going, wow, you must be a real nihilist about everyone else, but your obnoxious Seth Rogen friend. Because this guy, I mean, if you take Seth Rogen out of this movie, it is just a fucking dark, depressing, really just almost energyless, static film of watching this guy like mumble and just wander his way aimlessly through this experience of like coming to terms with the fact that he might be dying. And then Seth Rogen, who is desperately needed, I'll give you that, because of the way the rest of the film is, he so doesn't feel like he belongs in it. It's like an anachronism every time he's on screen. I was like, where did this guy parachute in from? You know, I mean, he is funny. I'm not going to say he's not funny, but it's like, I felt like I was watching two completely different movies that weren't aware of each other.
Well, I don't want to like presume that this is based on a true story, but I heard Seth Rogen and his friend who has cancer interviewed the other day talking about how this was the inspiration for the movie.
Yeah, it's a guy named Will Reiser.
Yeah.
Who is a friend and co-writer.
Right.
So, I mean, of course Seth Rogen's going to be in it. So aspiring filmmakers out there, get a friend who has cancer, handwrite a script, and
well, but
he'll put you into a movie.
That's why I question when you say like, well, if Seth Rogen wasn't in it, it could have been a drama, but it's like, well, there is no movie without Seth Rogen.
Yeah. I mean, Seth Rogen, I mean, you say it felt like two different movies.
Well, because he's exaggerated to the point of being a cartoon character almost in it, whereas everyone else seems like real people.
I guess, with him being in it, like you're saying, it felt like a different movie to you. And then you're saying like he felt like his character from Freaks and Geeks. I'm like, well, this is what Seth Rogen does in anything. Seth Rogen just is the wisecracking guy. That's it. And so it didn't surprise me when he was in the movie. And I didn't think he was doing any kind of a stretch of a character. What I did thought he brought to this is what everybody else is saying, something that lightens up what like you said could be a potentially very dark film, because this is an emo guy who's just, I mean, I wonder if he just got, if this was emo cancer with a fancy name to it, because it's like, it's like this guy doesn't seem to enjoy life at all, no matter what he has. And
he's too much of an emo to even be a hipster, really.
Yeah.
He's a pussy, really.
Yeah.
He just sits there and lets everybody and everything shit on him. And so,
I was like, you know what? If you had been a man, you could have stood up to cancer and said no, but you didn't. You let
or
it just.
at least his girlfriend.
Yeah.
Get yourself a machine gun. Go after that fucking cancer. I don't know what you guys are talking about as far as him acting like an emo, because I'm like, well, how else would he really act if he had cancer? Because it's not like you're really hanging out with a guy that much at the beginning of the film.
This is before cancer.
I didn't get that sense that he was kind of moping around. He was just kind of living his life, doing his thing. And then